Agency owners, I need you to listen to me. This is the exact system and the exact acquisition system that I used to hit 10K per month in under 30 days. Now listen, this is the exact system that you need to use to help you hit 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K, etc., etc., etc. This system is an acquisition system, which isn't any boring acquisition system that you get from another guru, or you pay on a low ticket for $7 or whatever. This is an insanely accurate, in-depth acquisition system which leverages AI to help you grow 10x, 20x within the next 30 days. So listen, if you're an agency owner, consultant, or a coach, right, and you're trying to scale your B2B offer, this video is exactly what you need to listen to. So as I said, if you're an agency owner, you're probably struggling with one of these 5 things. So whether that be inconsistent lead flow, unqualified leads, and to be honest, time wasters, poor sales processes, and honestly, just a poor follow-up sequence. Whether you're struggling to stand out in a saturated market, which is incredibly easy to do, right? Or whether you've just got boring, long sales cycles, and to be honest, you're kind of delaying on decisions which need to be made quick, right? So as I said, this is the easiest and the most in-depth client acquisition system video that you will literally watch ever, right? This is the best acquisition system to use in 2025, especially if you want to hit that 10, 20, 30K month, okay? So let me just run you through, as I said before, the 5 pillars that you actually need to hit 10, 20, 30K month, right? So 1, you need to sort out the problem of inconsistent lead flow, right? That is probably the most important thing on here, right? In terms of actually getting a client and then getting another and, getting the ball rolling, all right? So that second thing as well is unqualified leads and time wasters. Now that is the second most important thing in the entire process, because if you've got unqualified leads and they're just jumping on a call with you just to, waste your time and get a few things for free and then, never to be heard of again, that's not worth your time, and it's completely worthless to you, okay? Third thing is a poor sales process and, a poor follow-up sequence. That's just as important as, actually reaching out to the prospect, whether it's through, cold outreach, whether it's through cold email, whatever, whether it's, even on an ad, you need to follow up and actually, stick with them throughout the whole process. Fourth thing is standing out in a saturated market. Now, a lot of markets are saturated nowadays. It's one thing to actually see. Every niche that I've ever attempted to actually scale in has been saturated, but I've always found a way to stand out, and I use a specific framework to actually help myself stand out. Now, the fifth thing is long sales cycles and basically delaying on decisions. Now, obviously, you as the founder, the CEO, whatever you are in the company, if it's you that makes a major decision and you are taking ages and ages and ages, days and days and days, sometimes even weeks to actually make a decision, which is, kind of the tipping point between signing a big deal, signing a whale client, or actually, losing the client, you need to be making these data-driven decisions quickly and efficiently, right? And long sales cycles aren't doing your growth any good, right? So let me just dive straight into the inconsistent lead flow problem. Now, on one thing, whether it's sales, whether it's the marketing, you need to funnel down on that one thing and actually, as I said, put all your focus in there and drive growth through that direction. Now, the first thing here, right, that we always set up is actually, emails, whether it's cold emails, whether it's actually content, or whether it's ads, right? We always start with the lead flow problem, because that's always the biggest and most broad bottleneck within agencies, coaches, and consultants that we've worked with. Now, how we actually tackle that is we scrape the leads from Apollo, right? So it's simple, bang, first step, scrape the leads from Apollo, and then we add them to a Google Sheet. We tag them, right, depending on their lead warmth, their quality, and their ticket size, how much they would be willing to pay, right? We kind of estimate that depending on employee size, company size, everything like that. And then what we go ahead and do is we add them to a cold email campaign. Now, you can literally set up any cold email kind of software for this. It really doesn't have to be Lemlist. It could be any of the others, right? But what we go ahead and do is, once we have set this system up, what we do is we do a back-end system on this, and we basically allow an AI assistant to generate, draft, and basically create all of these cold emails with hyper-personalized content based on, the client's persona and their profile, right? So we actually create and, as I said, use these AI writing assistants which create emails that land in the inbox. Now, that's one of the biggest problems. Deliverability at the moment is so bad. It's literally near impossible, especially with like Google, with all the the spam blockers and all that stuff that they've released. It's so hard to get in the inbox. So us creating a software or a system which basically allows us to get in the inbox 95% of times, our campaigns win, right? And our email health is insane. Our account health, 95+%. So as you can literally see here, this is just a really small campaign that I tested for myself. We contacted 154 and we delivered 154. Now, the second thing is actually leveraging LinkedIn lead magnet post to drive engagement intent. Now, I am no LinkedIn expert, really not. LinkedIn is definitely not my strong point, but it's safe to say that I have got some pretty solid posts on there, right? So I actually just posted a simple lead magnet on LinkedIn, based around AI agents and kind of, the agentic wave. As you can see, I got 198,000 impressions on one post. Now, this was based on a 2-day time frame, right? So over those 2 days, 1,600 engagements, 2,400 comments, right? And in terms of individuals, I reached 110,000 members with this one post. I built an email list of over 500 people from this one post. Now, another post which I did literally a month prior was I scraped the best Make.com automations. So hundreds of the best Make.com automations. I got 55,000 impressions, 953 comments, 700 engagements on that post. Now, both of the posts and both of the ideation processes was actually done through an AI agent. So this exact agent here created the ideation process and did the ideation process for both of these, we'll call them viral posts on LinkedIn. Now, both of those posts brought in 88K in pipeline for my agency and for my coaching business and everything like that. So 88K in pipeline from 2 posts on LinkedIn. That is crazy. Facebook ads. Now, this is our touche, right? When we run Facebook ads for clients, the typical CPL for coaches, agencies, and consultants is around, give or take $30 to $80. Now, that is without using AI. Now, we, again, as I mentioned, we leverage AI in basically everything that we do. So we try and leverage AI in our Facebook ads. So if you basically, as I said, don't use AI in your Facebook ads, you're going to get a CPL around $30 to $80. Okay. Now, if you leverage AI, not only for the sake of the ad campaign, but the cost efficiency as well, the CPL. If you're running a CPC campaign, the CPC is very, very, very cheap, like marginally cheap. We haven't tested that just yet for a client. We did it for ourselves. Insane results, right? So basically, the average CPL with AI is around $10 to $25, $30. So it's basically half, if not more, of the average CPL without using AI, when you could literally just add AI, decrease the CPL, and then increase, your ROAS. For instance, we literally a few months ago, client result, we spent 220 on ads. We brought in 6.7K. Now that was based on, I think it was 4 clients. Now that is a 3,045% ROAS, literally, just because we put AI in the ads, right? and we brought the CPL down from, to $10 to $25, $30, right? Which is insane, especially if we're bringing back, a 3,045% ROAS. So they're the most important things when it comes to actually fixing the inconsistent lead flow problem. An inconsistent lead flow is majorly significant. You need to sort it out really quickly, right? If you let it kind of run out, right, and you let your leads run out, your agency, your coaching business, or your consultancy business will literally run dry, and you won't have any leads. So if you can have a consistent lead flow, especially through kind of plugging those holes with systems exactly like this, right, you will literally never need to worry about inconsistent lead flow again. Right, now the second thing, as I said, second thing which ties in with the inconsistent lead flow is the unqualified leads and the time wasters that you're getting. Now, literally the process that we use, right, to find the highest quality leads, and I'm talking leads that are willing to pay $8K and they are literally begging to work with you, right? They are literally on their hands and knees begging to work with you. You don't have people that are coming to you and are like, yeah, well, it doesn't really matter if we get the system or not. It doesn't really matter if we do this, if we work together. I literally have people, because I've got systems like this, that get on their hands and knees and literally say, Jed, I want to work with you. All right? So it's simple. Literally all you need is a lead qualification form that is literally similar to this. Now, this isn't it. So if a client or a prospect fills out the form and they have a budget and a monthly, their monthly rev is more than 5K, what we go ahead and do is we funnel them through, depending on the opt-in status, as I said, we add them to our free EAP, which is a sales school community. Now, we also book them in on a demo call with myself or one of my team members, and we basically give them a run through of the systems which we can build out for them to help them scale past 5K and hit 50, 60, 70, 80K per month with 85, 90% margins, right? Now, if they have, or they're not willing to spend 5K and their budget is less than 5K and their monthly rev is less than 5K, depending on that opt-in status again, what we do is we still go ahead and add them to that EAP sales community. And what we go ahead and do then is we get an SDR, again, depending on the opt-in status. If they're making more than 5K, SDR will call them up and they will do phone sales, right? So they will sell them on the phone. Now that's after the demo call. And then depending if their budget is less than 5K, they literally just get added to our free newsletter. They get added to the school community. And we just give them a bunch of upfront value. Now, because our leads are pre-vetted multiple times before they go through this kind of process, what we can determine is even the ones that are making less than 5K, they are making in the ranges of 2 to 5K, right? So what we do is we downsell them. So we sell them on a mid-ticket community. Now, that community is $97 per month, right? And we always go for a downsell. And then even then, if they don't want it, we literally try and sell them a playbook for like $27 and then at least try and get some sort of, money out of them. So even if you can get your leads to a point where they are literally in the ranges of 2 to 5K, if you're using the same kind of ideology as me, what you can go ahead and do then is understand, okay, can we go for a downsell here? Okay, even then, if they don't go for the downsell, can we go for a lower downsell? Can we go for a low ticket and then medium and so on and so forth? And obviously, once they hit 5K, you can literally hit them on the high ticket and basically close the deal. Now, these are literally the exact questions that we use in the lead form qualification. So literally 6 simple questions, right? 1, what kind of business do you run? Basically gives you an understanding of what they do. They get to, they insert their website URL. You can do a little bit of background on them, whether that's before you jump on a call or before you reach out to them. Your monthly rev, that really, as I said, gives you an idea of where they go through the funnel next, whether they, go to the part where they get to book a demo call or whether they go for a downsell. 4th is what is your marketing budget. So obviously someone like myself, where we run ads, predominantly really, really, really specific targeted ads. If they're making less than 5K, as I said, they go down the funnel, go for a downsell, and that gives us an understanding of what we can actually do for them. Where did they actually hear about your business? Now, this is so significant because it allows you to understand what marketing channels are actually pulling in the most amount of leads, right? So let's say on there someone puts YouTube, and the majority of people are putting YouTube. You can then, funnel down on YouTube then, rather than focusing on Instagram that's got, no clients or one, right? Now, SickPhone is, simple. Fill out your contact information, phone number, name, email, whatever. And that basically allows you, your SDRs to reach out to them and all that stuff, right? Now, the other thing within this kind of section of the acquisition system is quiz funnels. Now, there is a specific reason why we actually use quiz funnels. Now, again, it's based, really similarly to the lead funnel. If they pass, they get an offer to book a call. Simple. If they don't pass, they get redirected to a lower tier offer or a nurturing sequence. As I said, we get them in the school community, we add them to the newsletter, and we nurture them through there. Or they'll get, offered to the medium ticket school community, which is $97 a month, or they get given that kind of booklet PDF, which is $27 a month. Now, we also double vet the leads. Now, double vetting the leads triples conversions, basically just by filtering out unqualified prospects for a two-step qualification process. So as I said before, it's pointless me going out and getting a client that literally makes zero. We always, double vet the leads so they're making anywhere from 2 to 5K minimum. So then we can always go for a downsell, and it works 99% of the time, right? Now, we do that, as I said, first via a quiz or a form, then through an AI assistant, DM chat, pre-call video, whatever it may be. Now, pre-call video is probably the best one for this. AI sales assistant, a bit inefficient. Pre-call video, film it once, sells forever. Now, this doesn't only ensure the highest intent. Pre-sold buyers kind of reach your sales call, and that reduces no-shows because people actually want to jump on the call with you and get that value and, probably work with you. And now it also increases perceived value, right? Perceived value is so significant when actually running an offer. Agency, coaching business or consulting business. And it basically, the main point of this is to eliminate time wasters. You don't want people constantly, jumping on calls with you. They just want something for free, and then they, get lost and you don't hear from them ever again, right? So they're the main things when it actually comes to, funneling out those unqualified leads and the time wasters. Right now, the final thing which we do here right at the back end is we literally enrich the leads through a simple 5-step automation. We add them, depending on your CRM, whether it's HubSpot, whether it's, Breakcold, whatever it may be, ClickUp. We add them to your CRM. We watch the context, right? We get the person or the company using Clearbit. We add them to Salesforce and we create a record, right? Then it goes through SalesLoft, creates another record, and then a message in Slack saying that the leads have been enriched. Reach out to them. SDR can reach out to them, call, whatever, kind of nurture them and get them on the call. Okay. The third thing here is having a poor sales process and actually, not following up efficiently and having a poor follow-up sequence. So there's a few things within this part of the acquisition system which are fundamental. Okay. Now there's a bunch of other things you can add, but these are the things which will help you scale to 10K the quickest, right? And actually convert those follow-ups. Now, the first thing is basically just having a simple sales assistant that conducts sentiment analysis. It literally works 24/7 and it books calls. I mean, this is probably the best sales assistant out there because it's booking me calls day in, day out. Might only be 1 or 2 calls a day, but it's booking me calls consistently, right? And it's conducting that sentiment analysis, which is so significant in terms of actually nurturing those leads, right? And it works 24/7, and it's basically free. It costs a few pennies, if even that. right? It's the most cost efficient way rather than hiring a VA to do the work day in, day out. Okay. Now, in terms of, your follow-up sequences and, the sales process, to build out follow-up sequences, we only use GHL, right? We only use Go High Level to build out the follow-up sequences, and the re-engagement sequences, so on and so forth. So what we got here, which we've built out, is email and SMS. So bang, as soon as an appointment is, booked through your calendar, a confirmation plus reminder is set up then, whether that be 12 hours, 10 hours, an hour before, so on and so forth, with the link to the meeting and everything. And then we've got a re-engagement sequence. So, this is really, 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 significant for those customers which might, they might have been in your pipeline and then they kind of dropped out, right? You can add them to this re-engagement sequence and then just continuously sell. Whether you start on a low ticket, go up, medium, school community, and then upsell on the high ticket, whatever it may be, you can literally run this, right? Re-engage those old, pipeline, re-engage that old pipeline and start selling to them again. You know what I mean? So once a lead drops off, you put them back in the re-engagement sequence and just keep selling consistently. Right? And we only use GHL for this because there's so many configurations and it's so much more efficient than Make.com or Zapier in terms of this, right? This is really, a strong point within GHL. That's exactly why we use it. Now, the fourth thing here is actually standing out in a saturated market. Now, this is one of the smallest alongside of, the poor sales up and, poor sales process and follow-up sequences. Because those two are so easy to get right, but so many people get them wrong. So you don't need, I didn't even need to put much detail in there because it's so simple, right? In terms of standing out in a saturated market, you just need to build your personal brand on LinkedIn or YouTube. In my case, LinkedIn, as I showed you before, we got some solid content on there, right? That drives insane engagement. So build your personal brand on LinkedIn or YouTube and become an authoritative figure within your space, right? So post high value content consistently, as you could, but just use simple frameworks like problem, then provide a solution, and then a call to action. So basically just a lead magnet post. Second thing is story, and then a lesson, application. Basically, in there, obviously, include your data, your proof, client success stories, just to kind of back your claims. It's pointless you kind of sticking that out there if you haven't got anything to back yourself. You know what I mean? Again, create posts and leverage social proof, right? Leveraging social proof is so important when it comes to actually growing. And in terms of my CPL, when I start, I posted this 5 months ago, my CPL dropped by more than half, literally just by leveraging social proof. Literally, it's that simple. If you can leverage your social proof and actually kind of put yourself out there, again, it doesn't only build you as an authoritative figure, but your CPL is going to drop significantly. Now, the fifth thing here in this client acquisition system is actually, your long sales cycles and decision delays, right? Now, I'm going to be honest, there's literally two things which I did, which basically allowed me to get around this hurdle. I hired an appointment setter and a closer. That was it. That was literally it. Okay. And that allowed me in my first 2 months, book 438 meetings. Right, as you can see, is a 2,520% increase from the month prior, or from the 2 months prior. We completed 381 of those events. Me and my closer, we worked alongside each other, right? 381 of those 438 meetings or events, they actually showed up to the call, right? Now, 15 people didn't show up. So what? We had a few people that cancelled, a few people that rescheduled, but we had a 75% show rate in total across those 2 months. 75% of the people that booked a call with us actually showed up. Now, there's a few reasons why that is. One, it's because we had a Go High Level system set up exactly like this. Bang, calendar appointment, confirmation plus reminder. We also had an AI sales assistant which would call up the lead 10 minutes after they booked and 10 minutes before their scheduled time to jump on the call with me or the setter, right? AI sales assistant will call them up, remind them, ask them any questions, if they want to, not if they wanted to cancel, but if they wanted to cancel, whatever. AI sales assistant will call them up, remind them, and then 5 minutes before they would get a link from that GHL sequence to basically allow them to sit in the waiting room on the call. Now, long sales cycles and constant delays are literally killing your growth. Like, that's what's stopping you from growing. That's what's stopping you from scaling. You cannot grow if you are constantly delaying major decisions. Even if you're delaying small decisions, right? You need to be quick and data driven to actually scale. And having a long sales cycle, whether it's 10, 20 days, which is incredibly insignificant and really, 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 stupid in terms of how that can delay you. But it's just stupid how much time you're wasting on trying to convert one lead in 10 or 20 days. You need to have a quick, short, snappy, efficient sales cycle, which allows you to grow constantly, week in, week out, month in, month out. Now, the other thing which allowed me to scale to that 10K in under 30 days is I did research and I leveraged my network, which allowed me to build 6-figure agency procedures before I even had a 6-figure agency myself, right? So I spent hours and hours and hours watching Alex Hormozi, Serge Guattari, all of these big businessmen that run B2B businesses, learning their systems, their SOPs, their procedures, everything inside and out. And I created this document, which basically allowed me to understand every single one. And I created every single procedure that came to mind. We had AI employees in there, which basically allowed me to save money on a VA and, like content, like repurposing content and sticking it on YouTube Shorts or Instagram just to kind of push more content out there. But as I said, you literally need procedures that actually help you scale. Like, it's pointless you taking advice from someone that's in the same position as you, but they're giving you procedures, for their, from their business, but you're in the same level. You need to take information and actually these procedures from people like I mentioned, Alex Hormozi, Iman Gadzhi, Serge Guattari, these people that are running 7, 8, 9-figure B2B businesses, right? So trying to scale past 10K per month without solid SOPs, now this is my personal opinion, without solid SOPs and procedures is literally like digging your agency an early grave. Like, it's impossible to scale if you don't have solid SOPs and procedures in place to actually push you and have that foundation which allow you to spurt off in different directions and actually scale efficiently and fast. Now, that is literally everything in my client acquisition system, which allowed me to hit 10K in under 30 days. You don't need any more. And I'm literally giving you everything you have here in the bio. If you check the bio, everything, the automation templates, the quiz funnels, the lead forms, all the automation templates, CPL, calculators, every single thing, Facebook ad playbooks, everything that you need, LinkedIn growth playbooks, everything that you need is in the bio. Everything. Now, listen, if you're an agency owner, a coach, or a consultant, and you want a system like this set up, which is literally just going to help you print cash, and I'm talking 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K, etc., month in, month out, within 90 days, listen to this. So this is the exact framework which we use to actually set up systems for agencies, coaches, and consultants that are doing more than 5K per month. So it literally starts off with lead gen and funnel entry. So lead enters the funnel. They go for a lead pre-qualification, nurture sequence with an appointment setter or an AI appointment setter. We book them on an appointment, obviously depending on their opt-in status and their kind of where they are. If they're less than 5K, they go to a downsell. Ideally, as I mentioned before, we get them in the position where they're making two 5K, so they can actually afford the downsell anyway, right? And then if they're making more than 5K and willing to spend more than 5K on ad spend if you run ads, what we go ahead and do is we book them on an appointment, we run them through a pre-vetting process again, and then what we do is we optimize for show-up rate optimization, so AI Sales Assistant, those reminders using GHL, those automated reminders, SMS and email. And then what we go ahead and do is, if you're going ahead and going to close the deal yourself and jump on that sales call, or if you want one of our closers to jump on the sales call, what we do is we build out a high-ticket sales call preparation, right, which allows yourself to understand what the client actually wants, their ticket size, where they are, their lead warmth, everything. So then you can structure the call around that presentation, which then allows you to close a deal 50% of the time. Obviously, if it's our closer, they'll go in, they won't need the high ticket sales call preparation, because all of our closers have a 40% close rate, right, which is above industry standard. I think we're sat at about 43% close rate, right, across all of our clients and all of our closers that we have. Now, we also do a post-call follow-up. So with the client, we send them an email and an SMS using GHL again to basically follow up them after the call and ask them how it went, if they think everything went good, and if they enjoyed the call and got value from it. And then what we do at the end of every week, right, depending on how many calls we're taking that week, is we do an analytical and a continuous improvement sheet, and we send that to you with graphs, put it in immense detail with graphs, infographics, which basically allow you to understand how many calls were closed. This is how we do it in basically a dumbed down 9-step process. Okay, so it's literally this simple. So lead gen and funnel entry. So we basically help you build a multi-channel lead generation strategy. We automate the outreach and we implement high converting landing pages. Simple. Basically ensures a consistent pipeline of warm leads coming in. Amazing. Lead pre-qualification, we use quiz funnels, application forms, and focuses time on the high intent buyers and the ones that are ready to take action. Nurture sequence, value first approach, and it basically reduces drop off. The appointment booking is we use a dynamic calendar optimization, so it fills gaps and prevents. So basically eliminates friction and leads to higher call volumes. Okay. So pre-vetting process basically double vets the leads and ensures they are financially qualified and they're actually serious about wanting your services. AI-powered lead analysis basically allows us to determine the likelihood of closing the deal, not only on your end, but also if we're going to go ahead and implement our closers on our end. And then high ticket buyers basically ensures high ticket buyers. How it basically helps is triples conversion rates by just focusing on the right people. That show up rate optimization, automated reminders via email, SMS, LinkedIn DMs, AI Sales Assistant calls leads before appointments, and then that psychological commitment trigger to basically increase that accountability, right? How it helps: decreases no-show rates, ensuring more high-value sales calls, which is obviously what you want. 7th thing is that high-ticket sales call preparation, predictive insights and objective handling scripts, okay? Personalized high-converting pitches, AI note-taking and CRM logging, which is super important. And then basically helps you close more deals with less effort and scalable sales processes, right? Amazing. 8th thing is that post-call sales follow-up, so automated follow-ups. It reignites interest if they've lost interest after the call, okay? If you don't go for that one-call close, and then maximizes conversion from leads who didn't buy immediately, as I said, on a one-call close. Then that analytics and continuous improvement, so real-time dashboards, conversion rates, CPL, ROAS, you get scripts, CTA across the board of A to B testing, nurture sequences, basically helps you improve efficiency over time. So then what we can go ahead and do is we can ensure that you have predictable revenue growth month in, month out. So you're not, kind of decreasing your rev, but spending 10 times more. Okay. Now, for agencies, coaches, and consultants. So it removes all the bottlenecks in client acquisition, because me and my team understand that client acquisition, especially in running a coaching business, an agency, or a consultancy business, it is so difficult, client acquisition. It's so difficult to actually get to grips. just because there's so many different ways of people teaching you how to do it. You just need one system that literally helps you grow predictably month in, month out. It saves you 20 to 30 plus hours per week. Basically, allows you to stop worrying about unqualified leads that just show up to your calls and want something for free and then get lost, right? And it focuses on high intent buyers, tripling sales conversion rates. Easy. Literally by that double vetting process, you can triple your conversion rates. And then having a fully automated and scalable, consistent, and which is built around predictable revenue month in, month out. Now, the bottom line here is this system literally removes guesswork, and it optimizes every single touch point and scales revenue fast. Simple. Now, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. You literally just scale fast. It's that simple. Now, agencies, coaches, and consultants can literally just focus on delivering the results instead of chasing the leads day in, day out, kind of spreading yourself too thin. You need a system in place which is actually going to help you scale predictably month in, month out. Now listen, if that sounds like something that can actually work for you and you think that it's worth having a chat about, there's a form in the bio which I literally just want you to fill out. And then if you are the right fit, someone on my team will reach out to you. They'll give you a call and you can get the ball rolling from there. But I mean, listen, that's everything in my really simple but effective client acquisition system. Thanks so much for watching. See ya.